Hello and welcome to Best Self Yoga, a practice for K-12 educators. My name is Lindsay and I'm a teacher here in Southern Oregon. Best Self Yoga is inspired by the principles from the book Teach from Your Best Self, a teacher's guide to thriving in the classroom, written by my good friend Jay Schroeder. If you'd like to learn more about Teach from Your Best Self and Jay's mission, you can see the links in the description below. If you enjoy this practice and would like to see more Best Self Yoga, please like and subscribe. But in the meantime, I'll meet you on the mat in a comfortable seat of your choice. Hello and welcome back to practice. Thank you so much for joining me on the mat today. We're going to start by coming into a seat on our mat, maybe rocking just a little side to side, really getting that connection with your sits bones to the mat. When you feel like you have that connection, find stillness. Maybe tucking your tailbone under ever so slightly, like you're hooking into that mat, pulling your navel into your spine as we inhale, reach for the sky. Really reaching as high as you can, and as you exhale, letting your shoulders fall away from your ears, hands falling to our laps. You can stay here in this cross-legged position or join me in square legs. I'm going to go ahead and just lean back, flexing my feet, bringing my shins parallel to the long side of my mat, sitting up nice and tall. Grabbing this left foot and just placing it on top of your right. So both shins are parallel to the front of your mat, where our feet are flexed to protect our knees. And from here, you can adjust the width of your knees by bringing them closer or further apart, depending on how that's feeling out here in your hips. So keeping those feet flexed, I'm just going to bring my left knee in just a little bit closer. Finding nice stretch in that left outer hip. Inhaling, reaching for the sky. This time as you exhale, letting those hands fall to your mat. Fingertips come to touch. Today's practice is inspired by Chapter 5, titled Stress, Pressure, and Hurtspots in Students. Maybe walking those fingertips back a little bit further, shoulders falling away from your ears. Inhale. And as you exhale, option to lower your chin to your chest. And students are doing the best they can with the tools they have as they manage life. Inhaling to look forward. I'm going to exhale. We're going to straighten this left leg, keeping those toes flexed, pulling this right foot into the left inner thigh. Inhale, reach for the sky. Exhale, gentle twist to the right, away from that extended leg. Finding that connection with your foot and your thigh. Inhaling back to center. Exhaling, this time twisting to the left over that extended leg. And while you're in that twist, pulling that left hip back to square our hips towards that left foot. As we inhale, reach for the sky. And exhale, one-legged forward fold, walking your hands forward. Adding a bend in the knee, if that's what you're needing today. And then in this chapter, Jay explains how even under the best of conditions, learning is inherently a stressful process. So slowly walking back up to a seat, crossing our legs once again. If you stayed in that cross-legged position this time, just put the other leg on top. It's probably the one that feels a little bit funky. We're going to go ahead and come into square leg, this time with our right leg on top of our left. So leaning back, shins are parallel to the long side of your mat, bringing that right leg top of the left. You can bring your knees closer or further apart. It's up to you. It's also okay that when the left leg was on top, if you were a little bit wider or more narrow, it doesn't have to be exactly the same. The important part is just to listen to your body. So finding where that is. Once again, inhaling, reaching for the sky. Exhaling, fingers come to touch the mat. Maybe walking our hands back even more, providing that lift in our chest. Shoulders falling away from our ears. So there are 3 stages to learning. Inhaling, and on your next exhale, lowering your chin to your chest. And the first stage is intrigue, excitement, curiosity, wonder. Inhaling back to center. Exhaling, extending the right leg this time as we bring our left foot into the right inner thigh. Inhale, reaching for the sky. Exhale, twisting to the left. Engaging that left foot with the right inner thigh. Shoulders are falling away from my ears. Inhaling back to center. Exhaling, twisting over that extended leg as we pull the right hip back to square towards that right foot. Inhaling to reach for the sky. Exhaling, nice one-legged forward fold. After the first stage of intrigue, excitement, and wonder, the second stage is frustration, disequilibrium, stress, and really discouragement for some kids. Nice work walking those hands back up, coming into a seat. And the third stage, if we can make it through that second stage of discouragement and stress, is triumph, growth, pride, new understanding. And the key for us is to help students ride the wave of learning stress so that they complete all 3 stages in some way, shape, or form. We're going to come to extended child's pose. So first coming in to a tabletop position, maybe shaking your hips to the left to right, just as a transition. Bringing our knees as wide as the mat, big toes coming in to touch, inhaling to look forward, and exhaling, sending those hips back to your feet. Extending your arms nice and long. Option here to bring your palms together and then walking your elbows closer to the short side of your mat. So the theme for today is holding space. We hold space by witnessing what is in the present moment without judgment. It's accepting that wherever you go, there you are. And it is what it is. Inhaling to look forward. Exhaling, coming back up to tabletop position. We want our wrists just underneath our shoulders, our knees underneath our hips, pushing in to the tops of our feet. Slight tuck in our tailbone. Nice tabletop position. We're going to inhale, reach for the sky with our right arm. Exhale, coming through, threading the needle, sending the right arm underneath the left, bringing our right ear towards the mat. Keeping those hips square to the front of our mat and over our knees. We can hold space for ourselves. We can also hold space for our students. By holding space and teaching from our best selves, we create a safer learning environment for students. Planting that left palm, inhaling to bring that right arm out, maybe reaching for the sky one more time. As we exhale, planting the right hand, shaking your hips a little left to right. Coming back into tabletop position. Inhaling this time with our left hand, reaching for the sky. And as you exhale, bringing that left arm underneath the right, bringing our shoulder and our left ear to the mat. Threading the needle here. Through multiple successful experiences, through all three learning stages, students learn to have confidence in themselves as learners and believe in their power to learn new things. And the safer we can make our learning environment, the more likely for students to complete all three stages in some way, shape, or form. Inhaling to lift that left arm up, maybe reaching back up to the sky, your choice. Exhale, planting your left palm. We're going to drop our elbows to where our palms were, sending our legs out nice and long, coming into a Sphinx pose. Pushing into the tops of your feet, pushing into your tailbone. Our forearms are parallel, chins parallel to the mat. Sphinx pose. And we can hold space for students as they're going through those learning cycles, celebrating when they make it through frustration, while also holding space for students who couldn't withstand the learning stress that day. Inhaling, and as we exhale, just bringing our palms down to the mat, resting our forehead, shaking our hips a little left to right. The invitation today is to use this practice to hold space for yourself, to connect to your best, and to teach from that place, even if just for today. We're going to inhale to look forward. Exhaling, bringing our palms just underneath our shoulders. Once again, pushing into the tops of our feet. Placing your forehead and your nose onto your mat, getting a nice stretch in the back of your neck. And on your next inhale, we're going to rise up, coming into a baby cobra. Exhaling, bringing that forehead back to the mat. Enjoying that stretch for a breath. Inhaling cobra. Exhaling fold. Last time, inhale, coming into cobra. Exhaling, bringing your forehead to the mat. Curling your toes under. Getting ready to come up into a downward facing dog. You can slither up, similar to the way that I just did, or maybe coming into a plank. Either way, when you get to your down dog, pedal it out. And when you feel ready, just finding some stillness here. I'm going to slowly start walking our way up to the top of our mat, coming into a forward fold. Bending those knees as much as you like. Maybe playing with extending them a little bit to enjoy that stretch. Option here to take your palms and just put them underneath your feet. Slowly and carefully, if you put your feet or your hands under your feet, bringing them out. We're going to slowly roll up, dragging maybe your fingers across your shins to remind you. Come up nice and slow. When you get to the top, maybe some nice shoulder rolls or whatever movement is feeling good as we come onto our feet. Coming into a mountain pose. So you can start with your hands on your hips. We want our feet about hip width apart. Raising all 10 of your toes to connect with all 4 corners of your feet to the mat. Maybe bending your knees here as we tuck our tailbone under. Engaging our glutes as we stand up nice and strong. Inhaling, providing a little lift in our chest. Tadasana. Mountain pose. Option here to take your hands and clasp them behind your back. If that's not accessible to you or for you today, we can also come into airplane arms. Holding space for ourselves here. I am who I am, and that is enough. We're going to inhale and come into a chair pose. So our arms are going to come to about a 45-degree angle. We want our knees to stay in line with our ankles, tucking that tailbone in slightly, coming into a chair pose. Inhale here. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And fold. We're planting our palms, stepping your left foot back and then your right foot back, coming into knees, chest, and chin. Inhaling for cobra. Coming into downward facing dog. Pedaling out just a little bit here. We're going to inhale, lift the left leg up. Exhale, bending the left knee and stepping that left foot just behind the left hand, lowering our right knee onto the mat. Your toes can be curled under or pushing the tops of your foot into the mat. Inhaling, rising up. Exhaling, once again, letting those hands fall behind your back. Shoulders away from your ears. Inhaling, reaching for the sky. And as you exhale, you're going to bring your fingertips to the mat. We're going to adjust our heel, pointing our toes up towards the sky. Our hips are still square to the front side of our mat. We want our right knee underneath our right hip, coming into this runner's lunge. Inhale to look forward. And exhale, maybe bringing your chest a little bit closer to that thigh. Nice bend in this left leg. Inhaling to look forward. Exhaling to just slide that left foot back, planting the right palm. Inhale, reach for the sky, twisting up. Exhale, bringing that left palm down to the mat. Coming back to our plank. Knees, chest, chin. Cobra. Downward facing dog. Inhale, lift the right leg up. Keeping those hips square to the short side of your mat. Step that right foot up just behind the right hand, lowering that left knee. Inhale, rising up. Exhale, option to bring those hands to airplane, or if you are clasping this time, you want to clasp the hand on top. That feels a little bit weird. Inhale, rising your arms up into the sky. Exhaling, planting those fingertips, adjusting that right foot to rest on the right heel. Your right toes are pointing up towards the sky. Inhale, and as you exhale, bringing your chest a little bit closer to that right leg. Enjoying that stretch down the backside. Inhaling to look forward. Exhaling, sliding that right foot back, planting the left palm. Inhale, reaching for the sky. And then exhaling, planting the palm, coming back into your plank. Knees, chest, chin. Cobra. We're going to meet in down dog for 5 breaths, finding stillness. Here we go. Holding space for ourselves. And slowly making your way back to the top of the mat. Coming into a forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And fold. Coming into chair pose. Exhale. Strong mountain pose. We're going to go through 2 more rounds of sun salutations. I'm going to add on with a warrior 1, but you have an option to stay with that low lunge. It's completely up to you. So we're going to inhale, coming into chair pose. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Planting our palms, stepping it back. This time you have an option to do knees, chest, chin for your flow, or to come into chaturanga, up dog, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift the left leg up. Exhale, bending that left knee, stepping the left foot behind the left hand. We're going to pivot to a 45-degree angle on that right foot. So you're going to bring that right foot so toes are coming to the edge of your mat. And we're going to this time inhale, rising up, warrior 1. As we come into warrior 1, it's nice to just put your hands on your hips. We want our hips to be square to the short side of our mat. Our left knee is over our left ankle, and we want to be strong in this right leg. So thinking about pushing away from the mat with that right foot, engaging that right glute. Inhaling, reaching up for the sky. On your next exhale, we're going to go ahead and bend forward, either with airplane arms or coming into clasp, your choice. On your next inhale, we're going to reach for the sky as we straighten that left leg just as a transition. So inhale. And exhale, bending that left knee, planting that right palm, pivoting on the right foot. Inhale, reaching up for that twist. Back knee can be lowered or lifted. Exhaling, planting the left palm, coming into plank, finding your flow. And we'll meet in downward facing dog. We're going to do that same thing, just leading with the right leg. So inhale, lifting the right leg up towards the sky. Exhale, bending the right knee, stepping just behind that right hand. You can lower your knee here or join me in pivoting to a 45-degree angle with that left foot. Inhale, rising up, warrior 1. Exhale, hands coming to those hips just to check in. Shorten my stance just a little bit here. Right knees over your right ankle, pushing away from that mat with your left foot, engaging this left glute. Warrior 1. Inhale to look up. Exhale to bend forward, maybe with airplane arms. If you're going for the clasp, you're going to want to clasp the side that feels a little odd. Just keeping things even. Strong legs. On your next inhale, we're going to rise up as we straighten that right leg. Inhale. And exhale, bending the right knee, planting the left palm, pivoting on that left foot. Inhale, reaching up for your twist. Exhale, planting your right palm, stepping it back. Find your flow. We'll meet in downward facing dog for 5 breaths. Holding space for ourselves here in stillness. Slowly making your way up to the top of the mat. Coming into a forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And fold. Coming into chair pose. Standing up nice and tall in your strong mountain pose. I am who I am, and that is enough. Last round with Sun Salutation B. We're going to add on. Inhale, coming into chair pose. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And fold. And step it back and find your flow. Inhale, lifting the left leg up into the sky. Exhale, bending the left knee. Pivoting on the back foot. Getting ready for our warrior one. Rising up. Inhale to look up. Exhale to fold forward with airplane arms or clasped, your choice. Remember to stay strong in that back right leg. This time we're going to inhale to straighten that left leg. We're going to hold here just for a second. We want to make sure that we're protecting this left knee. So I want you to go ahead and engage that left glute. What that does is it's going to provide a slight bend in that left knee. As we inhale, reach for the sky. Hips are parallel to the short side of your mat. We're going to inhale to look up and exhale, keeping that left leg straight as we reach forward, coming into a forward fold, pyramid pose. Inhaling to look forward, bending that left knee, planting the right palm, pivoting on that right foot. Inhale, reaching for the sky. Exhale, planting your left palm back on the mat, finding your flow. We'll meet in downward facing dog. Inhale, lift the right leg to the sky. Exhale, bending that right knee, bringing it in towards your chest. Stepping just behind that right hand. Pivoting on that back foot, 45-degree angle. Inhale, rising up, coming into our warrior one. Inhale to look up. Exhale, folding over that right leg. Airplane arms or your hands are clasped. Keeping that left leg nice and strong. We're going to inhale, reach for the sky as we straighten this right leg. Engaging that right glute to provide that slight bend in your right knee. Inhale to look up. Exhale, folding forward, keeping that right leg nice and straight. Coming into pyramid pose. Inhaling to look forward. Exhaling, bending that right knee. Shifting on that left foot. Inhale, reaching for the sky. Exhale, planting your right palm. Last flow. Downward facing dog for 5 breaths. Slowly walking your way up to the top of the mat. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And fold. Chair pose. Standing up. Nice and tall. Mountain pose. You did it. It's time for our cool down. So we'll go ahead and inhale, reach for the sky. Exhale, forward fold. If you didn't put your hands under your feet in the beginning, you have another opportunity now, seeing how it feels. Noticing the energy flowing through your body. Inhaling to look forward, planting those palms, stepping the left foot back, dropping the knee, and then the right. We're going to bring our knees together, coming into a child's pose. Palms are up towards the sky. Our shoulders are like jello. And inhale to look forward. Exhale, just rising up. We're going to swing our legs to the side as we come through. Sending our legs out nice and long. Toes are pointing up towards the sky. Getting that connection with your sits bones. And then finding stillness, inhaling, reaching for the sky. And exhaling, hands just come to your sides. Maybe your palms will touch the mat, or maybe you're on your fingertips, staff pose. Taking a moment here to thank yourself for holding space. For showing yourself compassion. The kinder we are to ourselves, the kinder we are to others. On your next inhale, we're going to slowly bend those knees, keeping our heels and our feet flexed. Inhale, reaching for the sky. Exhale, forward fold. You can keep your knees nice and bent like this, or maybe start straightening your legs. Inhaling to look forward. Exhaling, using your hands to walk yourself back, coming on to our backs. And when you get there, bringing your knees into your chest, scooping your tailbone under, rocking a little side to side. We're going to take our left leg and just cross it over our right, coming into this reclined pigeon, flexing those feet to protect our knees. Inhaling here. And as you exhale, bringing your nose towards your knee towards your nose. And keeping your legs where they are and letting your neck fall back down, resting your head on your mat. Enjoying that stretch. Inhale to let the legs go. Exhale, taking the right leg on top of the left, flexing those feet. On your next exhale, bringing your knee to your nose, nose to your knee. And letting your head fall back down to your mat. Holding the stretch. Inhaling to provide some space, unraveling, bringing your feet to the mat. Lining your heels up with your sits bones. We're going to come into a bridge pose. There should be a slight gap in between your legs, about the width of a yoga block. So you're going to try and maintain that width. So pushing into all four corners of your feet. Wrapping our shoulder blades behind our heart space. Engaging our glutes. We're going to inhale, lift. Starting to lift the pelvic bone up towards the sky. And our hip bones, our lower ribs. And as you exhale, slowly lowering down your spine. Once again with your breath, inhale. And exhale, lowering down. One more time, this time an option to hold when you get to the top. Clasping those hands underneath, walking your shoulders underneath your heart space even more. Holding here. Inhale. And exhale, letting those hands release, lowering your spine to the mat, sending those legs out nice and long. Full body stretch. Coming into our final resting pose, Shavasana. To get through all three learning stages, students need a teacher who believes in them and is committed to making a safer learning environment. We can create a safer learning environment by holding space and teaching from our best selves, by practicing presence rather than perfection. You're invited to stay in Shavasana for about 5 to 10 minutes. I'm going to close practice here with the light in me honors the light in you. Namaste.